Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
My dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in their bedroom.
This is 6-year-old Ryland, who's being questioned by the detectives following the incident on the morning of April 7th, 2018, in which his mother, 25-year-old Brandy Colenza, shot herself. However, in a startling twist, Ryland reveals a vital clue pointing the detectives toward the real mastermind.
We did ask him. And you know what he told us? He told us that he heard his mom scream. Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
At this moment, 36-year-old Keith Johansson realizes that the detectives have uncovered the disturbing secret he's been desperately trying to hide. Yet, this is just the beginning of a heartbreaking tale. As the investigators dig deeper, they stumble upon a few pieces of evidence that unveil a different story, transforming Keith from a concerned husband into the prime suspect. Brandy Colenza and Keith Johansson had been married for a year and had recently moved into their new home. Brandy was a loving mother and wife, and to her, Keith was everything she had ever wanted. The family was bound by an unbreakable and immense love for each other, but they had no idea that a tragic twist was about to shatter their beautiful world forever. When the deputies arrived at the crime scene, Brandy had already passed away, and Keith seemed to be utterly devastated.
She's gone? Oh, God!
Oh, relax. My wife, man. I got you. All right, bud? It's Brandy Johansson. What's going on today?
Nothing.
You guys were talking?
Yeah, man, we got up. I took a shower. She just made her coffee.
Okay. What time did you guys wake up?
Shower. I heard boom, boom, boom. I got out. And she was laying on the floor with guns right next to her. I was like, no. Okay. So I called you guys immediately.
What time did you guys wake up?
Come to my house now.
You guys arguing or anything?
Nothing like that.
Okay. So you got in the shower. How long were you in the shower, would you say?
Maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And I heard boom, boom, but I thought it was a balloon.
How many shots did you hear?
2.
You heard 2?
And I thought it was a balloon at first. Then I heard this secondary shot. And I ran out there and seen her laying there going, so I called you guys immediately.
But to the detective's surprise, something strange had happened during the 911 call that contradicted Keith's concern toward his wife, something the detectives could sense was odd.
Are you applying pressure to that wound?
No, I can't
Find yourself
like that. I'm wet. I'm sliding on my floors.
You can't apply pressure.
I can't see it. Listen, I got wood floors and I'm sliding. I don't want to risk hurting her or possibly one of the guns going off too.
During the investigation, the detectives also found several weapons at Keith's house, but their unease didn't stop there. A series of peculiar details heightened their suspicion. Initially, Keith told the detectives that he was in the shower at the time of the incident. However, when they arrived at his place, he was not wet, suggesting that he had not actually taken a shower. Furthermore, the detectives noticed that the firearms with which Brandy had supposedly shot herself were deliberately positioned at an exact angle facing one another. This raised suspicion among detectives that if Brandy had accidentally shot herself, the guns would not have fallen in that manner. The clues seemed to cast suspicion on Keith, but the detectives needed more certainty. Seeking clarity and desperate to find the answers, they immediately took him in for questioning.
I wanted to see if you needed a chaplain or something like that.
Well, like after all this, I probably need someone to talk to, you know, and I'm starting to really question my faith at this point, you know, and I can't wrap around why she'd be taken. I mean, she's so young. We just got married not too long ago, less than a year. We're starting out our life in a brand new house, and I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can't wrap my head around it. And it's hard.
And how are the two of us getting along?
Perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect. I just can't, you know. Like, how am I going to live without her? You know what I mean? How am I going to go back to the house?
Keith's interaction with Chaplin exposed his conflicting emotions. His concern for his wife seemed genuine, but it also unveiled his self-centered preoccupation, providing an insight into his thought process. However, as the detectives began to question him, his statements began to shed light on the unanswered.
How would you describe your relationship?
The best one that I've had yet. I mean, she was everything that I wanted her to be. Everybody has their problems here and there, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's very rare. I've had one bad relationship before.
What would you say was the biggest issue that you guys have in your relationship?
I mean, you know, like we'd have our arguments here and there, stupid little things. But never nothing violent, never nothing too crazy, mm-hmm. you know? So I would say our relationship was, you know, okay with the exception of a little bit of bickering here and there. Mm-hmm. You know, I just don't understand the whole situation. I really don't. Do you guys have any information to maybe clarify it a little bit?
Were you guys faithful with one another? Was it just a...
For the most part, yeah. She had this online thing, you know what I mean, that she admitted to. You know, I've been flirting online, but whoopee. Who cares? You didn't do nothing physically.
Is there any chance at all that something different happened that you have not told us?
None. Because that's what happened. I got no reason to lie to you guys. I mean, you guys are investigators, for God's sake. That's what I seen, and that's what I heard.
Keith insisted that everything in their life was perfect, denying any signs that could lead Brandy to take her own life. Yet, his own statements unexpectedly exposed his ongoing issue with his wife, one that detectives considered a critical clue behind Brandy's death. Meanwhile, as detectives interviewed Ryland, his account revealed a surprising detail, pointing the cause in a new direction.
She had a little scream, and then I heard 2 gunshots. And I know it was nobody with her. It was just her.
Did somebody tell you that?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
My dad.
Your dad told you that nobody was with her, it was just her?
Yeah, in her bedroom.
Thank you for telling me that.
Ryland's revelation flipped the narrative, shifting a seemingly grieving husband into the role of the prime suspect. Detectives were convinced that Keith was hiding a crucial piece of the puzzle, one that could bring them closer to the truth. Determined to uncover the truth, they prepared for an intense confrontation.
I think that we're at the point of where we need to have a little bit of a harder conversation.
Okay.
Because as much as I want to believe that the guns fell and went off and shot her, what we have at the scene just doesn't show that. This is your opportunity to help yourself and to lay it all out for us, because there's a backstory. This isn't the story.
This is the story. And I'll get a lawyer and I will prove that this is the real story.
Okay. And you are completely entitled to that.
Ask Ryland. I mean, that's all that happened.
We did ask him.
Okay.
And you know what he told us? Do you want to know?
Yeah, because I wasn't up. So.
He told us that he heard his mom scream.
I heard no screams at all. None.
Why would he make that up?
Ask him.
Is he a liar?
He has been known to tell fibs, yes.
Does he tell you on the regular that his mom screams in the bedroom?
No.
Has he ever told you that his mom screams and it was a lie?
No, not screaming, but he lies about a bunch of other different things. You can ask his real father, and he'll tell you that too.
So why on this date would he lie about his mom screaming in the bedroom?
You guys can try to pin whatever you want on me. She didn't scream.
Listen, dude, nobody's trying to pin anything on you.
I'm just telling you what I heard, man. That's it. What I heard, what I seen. I mean, if you're trying to pin something on me, why would I have called 911?
You have a conscience. That's why. You love your wife. That's why.
So why?
Happens in the heat of the moment. You're not a bad person. You're not a monster.
No.
I am not saying that you're a murderer.
No.
I am not saying that you're a bad person. But what I am saying is, with my training, my experience, and the crime scene, the accident that you're laying out isn't the one that happened. Accidents
And I
happen.
feel kind of offended.
I feel offended too, if we're going to go to that level.
I feel really offended that you guys can try to pin an accident on me.
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were getting at with it. I was like,
Not at all.
When the detectives confronted Keith, his demeanor changed. He grew defensive and visibly offended by the detective's blunt approach. His reaction suggested he wasn't fond of her authoritative demeanor. When she probed his thoughts on justice for Brandy, his answer was bizarre and unexpected.
Is there anything else that you can think of that you think is important for our investigation?
As far as
As far as anything, as far as getting justice for your wife?
better gun control schools. Better gun control schools, readily available.
What in the world does that have to do with this?
Listen, Maiden. I know this is a tough day for you. Hopefully this is the worst day of your life, and tomorrow starts something new.
I hope so too.
Okay? We gotta get through this day. You staying here, talking to us, everything's, which is fantastic to show the family.
I mean, I take it like she's trying to pin it on me, and that's, yeah, and I'm very offended.
Okay.
She's not accepting what I saw and what I heard, and you know,
Okay.
and that makes me feel like I'm getting the injustice now.
As Keith realizes that the detective's sharp questioning is closing in on him, he becomes more defensive and yet pretends to remain calm and cooperative. The detective questioned Keith about whether there were cameras installed at his home, viewing it as an opportunity to gain insight and hoping for a breakthrough. Instead, Keith mistakenly revealed something that would later transform the trajectory of the case.
Are any security cameras installed in your bedroom?
Not in the bedroom, no.
Not in the bedroom.
And the rest of them don't work. They're offline because the batteries are off. And I wish they would have been on because that would have been clarifying all of this.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, if something like that, if we would have had that on the video, I cannot even tell you the crazy that I have seen on surveillance cameras.
Sure.
Have to make sure there's nothing like the footage on the camera of, and again, forgive me for saying this, but footage of you shooting her or something like that.
Sure.
On video. At this point, until they're done with that scene, you just can't be free to leave. I can't let you leave until that time.
Right.
Okay.
Can I have my parents come here to talk to?
When Keith requested to see his parents, it presented a great opportunity for the detectives, as it could help them gain insights during their conversation with him. His statements could either contradict what he previously stated or potentially lead the suspect to confess. However, his uneasy and impulsive behavior revealed what he was trying to hide.
The lawyer? I know. I didn't say you did. But you gotta be prepared for them to try to do that. When there's the main thing, I think, is because it was 2 shots fired. But I know. I'm not saying you did or didn't. I don't know.
I don't get out of the shower.
Well, that's kind of suspicious too. If you had residue on your hands,
I don't.
you just got out of the shower.
Sure.
Could have washed all that stuff off. Okay, no witnesses.
I mean,
And
this is what you get for being honest, man.
Well, maybe you're being honest. I'm not saying you are or not. I mean, I'm sure you are, but you still have to understand there's a death involved.
Well,
Now, listen to me, though. Listen to me. If you did do it, I'm just saying, I believe you didn't. But
I didn't.
But if you did own up to it,
I would have by now.
well, I'm just telling you, if you did it, you own up to it. It'll be better for you.
But I didn't.
Okay, I believe you.
And if I did, I would own up. I've been honest up to this
I
point.
understand. I mean, I don't want you to think I'm trying to blame you, Keith.
I know.
I'm talking you man to man because this is the time to do it.
Sure. But I'm not going to admit to something that I did not do.
Okay?
I know you did.
Anyway.
No, straight up.
I know.
Okay.
Well, you would never hurt anybody.
I know, and I was here voluntarily.
You've never even hit anybody.
I know.
That's why you keep your mouth shut.
Well, I told
Because they
you
can take everything out of context.
For
You're going to
3
be
hours.
proven innocent.
I know I was here, but it's
Just like they said, just don't say anything to us.
No more.
Yeah, no more. You're just gonna have to.
I'd lay on the table and go to sleep.
Yeah, they're just doing their job, Keith. But they might be going over a little bit, but it does look suspicious.
sure.
Even you admit that.
Sure, but I'm not gonna be accused of something that I really didn't do.
Well, you don't have any choice about that. If they accuse you, they accuse you. You have no choice.
Keep your mouth.
Just keep your mouth shut and what? You hear me?
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut and stay in good spirits.
All right. You guys ready to go?
Our legal obligation at that point is to let him leave.
Due to a lack of potential evidence, the detectives had no choice but to let Keith go. However, the detectives were aware of the cameras installed at Keith's home, which he denied during the interrogation. So now, their only hope rested on the surveillance cameras that could help them provide crucial information for the case. 21 days later, as the detectives obtained the search warrant to review the surveillance footage, what they saw in it was far worse than what they had expected. The footage exposed Keith's darkest nature, revealing a side of him so monstrous that no one could have ever imagined.
Put fish hooks in that, because it's not worth nothing now. Not in my eyes. My eyes, man, you cheated, dude. Multiple times. And only a stupid, cheating scumbag son of a make that same mistake. You the wrong person, dude. That's what made you become a lying, cheating. I will never trust you again. Ever. So you might as well get out of my life. Do yourself a favor. I want to just hurt you and leave. God knows you deserve it.
I was done.
Doing like this, you should have stayed the away from me, man. I don't know who the you think I am. I thought I was. Dude, you up, man. Like bad. It's only a matter of time. You don't care about me.
I do care.
In what way? Yeah, you like me as a
No.
father figure, but you don't give a about me.
Yes, I do.
I'd rather kill you than go back to jail. Maybe make you take some sleeping pills and I'll cut off your quick. I'll go to jail for that. Jack figures it. You know what? I'm gonna leave it here to haunt you. Maybe one day you will. You wouldn't give a f I didn't. You drove me to think about it, man. My life, my working years.
The footage revealed the domestic, physical, and verbal abuse Brandy had endured before her life ended unexpectedly. The revelations Keith shared with the detectives were significant transgressions and not as minor as he tried to present them. However, this wasn't the only thing that shook the detectives to the core, but another shocking footage came into the spotlight. Keith adamantly claimed that he was with Brandy during her last moments, but the footage revealed a darker story. Instead of trying to save Brandy's life, he was caught hiding drugs to avoid suspicion, betraying his claim to love her more than anything. Everyone was stunned to discover the true nature of Keith. The person they had cherished and relied on was actually the monster behind this devastating event.
Watching the videos of Keith belittling my sister, it was hard. I just wanted to get up and hug her.
3 weeks later, following the incident, Keith was finally arrested. Initially, he was charged with second-degree murder, but when the detectives discovered the footage, his charge was upgraded to first-degree murder. The stories Keith made up from the beginning till the end weren't over yet. During the trial, Keith realized that every piece of evidence had turned against him, so he came up with a new plan.
Well, I woke up and I went to the living room to retrieve my pants because I was thinking about him taking a shower. Then I pretty much was in the bathroom, took off my pants, getting ready to step into the shower, and I heard her say "boo," which is the nickname that she uses for me. So I go out there, and she had a weapon in her hand. She said that I was not her husband and I was plastic, and I had walked forward to her, trying to disarm her, and, well, I had grabbed my gun, the one that was in the box. Okay.
Mechanic?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Then I started walking towards her, trying to, say, "Hey, man," and trying to bark orders and for her to drop it and to disarm her. And then she would not do so. So I got closer and I tried to grab it from her, and she lifted it up and a round went out of my gun on her. Then she cocked and swung as I'm retreating, and another round I pulled off because she was pointing a loaded weapon at me.
From the beginning, all his efforts to save himself, believing he could outsmart the system, were futile, as all his claims were disproved. On October 28, 2021, the Flagler County jury finally reached a final verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Keith John Johansson, as follows to count 1 of the indictment. Guilty as charged as the crime of first-degree murder.
Circuit Judge Christopher France convicted Keith to a lifetime in prison without the possibility of parole. After hearing the verdict, Brandy's sister delivered an emotional speech that conveyed her immense pain over the past years.
Brandy wasn't just my sister. She was my best friend. And he just took her away and nobody was able to say anything. And being in jail is great for freaking him. He gets to live. And we still have to suffer inside with my sister gone and knowing and have to deal with Rylan growing up knowing his mom is not here with us.
As we conclude today's case, it encourages us to reflect on an important question. What stops people from choosing a peaceful resolution over a destructive one when faced with conflict or dissatisfaction in a relationship? The footage revealed that Keith was unhappy in his relationship with Brandy. While he had the option to leave, which could have potentially saved her life, but instead of choosing the right path, he opted to embrace the darkness. Also, this footage provides an insight into the young girls suffering from domestic violence who remain silent, unaware of the worst consequences it can bring. What are your thoughts on this case? We would love to know them. Let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for such fascinating videos. Until next time, stay aware and stay safe.